Hello gamers, Senseless here with Senseless Gaming. We have an epic KvK on our hands for this brand new KvK, the King of All Britain. In this KvK, we got 2377, 1365, 2934, 2293, and of course 3310. We're going to break this all down here in a second, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's take a look at the stats for this KvK. Let me pull them up real quick. Alright, here's what we're looking at here with 2377 with 21 billion power in one alliance and 1 billion power in a second alliance. And then we've got 1365 here with 15 billion and almost 15 billion here in their second alliance. And then down here, we're in a camp with 1718. They have almost 15 billion power. We have almost 12. And then down here in camp 4, we got 2934 with 13 and a half. And then 2293 with 12 and a half. So you can see the totals here, how that stacks up. Now, diplomacy is finished. So what we have in this KvK, Camp 1 and Camp 4 allied, and Camp 2 and Camp 3 allied. We have players in this KvK. We've got Akiles with accounts in both 2377 and 3310. One is Akiles and one's his son. And then you got Baba TC with his main account in 65 and his son's account in 3310. So this KvK is going to pit Akiles against Akiles. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Baba will be allied with his son, so no internal family drama on that one. You know, Thanksgiving will be pretty interesting at the Akiles household. And then down here we've got Chisgule in this KvK, up here in 2377. We got Mr. Hope and Wild Lion. This is going to be very interesting. And what we're looking at here, 2377 with more higher power whales. As you can see here with their one alliance with 21 billion power. And then you got 1365 with two alliances spread out for their 30 billion power across two alliances worth of players. So more players here versus bigger players over here. 2377 and 1365 will be facing off against each other. Apparently that was decided in diplomacy. So we'll be facing up against Chisgule down here with Camp 4. So at least this is going to make for a more fair and balanced fighting versus, 2377 just rolling over, 3310. This being our first real SOC KvK, you can take a look at the layout here, and 3310 is by far the low man on the totem pole here. We're the newest kingdom. We have the lowest power, the lowest KP. We're going to give this our all, just like we do every KvK. This is really interesting for 3310 because we're used to being the big dog in each KvK that we've been in, where we've always been looked to carry our allies and save them and bring them to victory. In this KvK, we are definitely going to be in the opposite position, where we're going to be in more of a supporting role to 1365, doing everything we can to help them while they go against 2377. Let's take a look at where we're at in this. So let's move this out of the way. Some really interesting updates to the game here going into this KvK. They've added to Home Kingdom here now, higher level forts, so we have up to level 10 forts here in Home Kingdom, and these forts aren't true SOC reward level, but they're definitely a better reward level than the level 5 forts that we had before. Barbs are up to level 40 now. So the barb rewards aren't sock value either. What we have are more on par with marauders in the way of reward value. So you can see here that we have up to 10 1-minute speeds here, but you're seeing a small amount of materials that you're going to get from killing these barbs. So that is by far and away a much better reward for being in Home Kingdom. Here you can see we got 10 5-minute speed ups, so a lot better value. What we didn't get is a higher gem level of nodes, so maybe they'll look at that in the future. I highly doubt it, but hey, there's always a chance. And then we have up to level 8 resource nodes, so that's going to make gathering of resources a lot faster and less labor intensive. Looking at Lilith's comments, they're looking at the quality of life feature or restrictions in the game, resources being one of them. They're also in the future looking to implement getting some resources back for healing in KvK, which will be really nice. So for this KvK, we're on to stage 2 of pre-KvK. We can take a look here at, 77 and 65 obviously are going to blow everyone away. Now we have Mr. Hope and Wild Lion. I don't know if you guys were tuned in, but Mr. Hope just went nuts, spending over 65 million gems to get on live stream to get these power ratings. No, obviously no one's going to touch this. That's like 400k US dollars in gems that he spent to rack up these numbers. It's insane. In this KvK, it's very interesting how the rewards for winning pre-KvK go. Now, not only do you get to pick your starting location on the map here, but your starting location defines which buffs your camp is going to get. So here in Northumbria, you've got infantry march speed and your normal 3% all damage. We're all familiar with 3% all damage being the number 1 position reward for winning pre-KvK. Then here, going around the map, you got 3% archer march speed, garrison damage taken minus 3%, archer march speed again 3%, field troop damage plus 3%, and then you got march speed infantry 3%, and then rallied army damage 3%. So being able to pick your buffs based on ranking is really kind of cool, and your position on the map. So that's great. That's a nice twist, in this KvK. This is our first SOC KvK, so I don't know if that's something that's in other SOC KvKs. At least for this one that I know of, that's a really cool aspect. So let's take a look at our account and where we're sitting at right now. We are really behind on speeds. We have roughly, let me bring it up here. This is another thing Lilith is considering bringing into the game is the resource calculators and speed calculators. So I keep it all in a spreadsheet here. I got, almost 4 billion each of the main resources, and then just over 1 billion gold. So that's great. But over here in the speeds, we have just under 300 days of universals, and then 44 days of healing speeds. So we have a lot of work to do to catch up on that. I spent a good bit of resources on building this new streaming PC that I have down here, which should allow us to finally live stream KvK action If you go back and watch my streams from the last KvK, I tried to stream Zone 5, I think it was, and I ended up taking like 700k deads from the lag from trying to do that stream on my old system. So I dumped a ton of money into this new gaming rig, which should be more than capable of handling live streams. So anyone that wants to smack those donate buttons in the video description, help with some bundles for this new KvK, that is so greatly appreciated. That's going to help us really up our performance. Otherwise, we're going to be doing a whole lot of barb chaining to try and play catch up here. Our resources, we're also going to need to pull in some extra resources here. We got 4.5, 5.3, 5.5, and then 2.8. This isn't going to get us very far, so we're also going to have to acquire some more of that. So anyone smacking those donate links, that is so greatly appreciated. So let's take a look at the rewards here from this level 10 fort that we just got. We got 10 5-minute healing speeds, so that's a good improvement over, let's see, do I have any older reports? I don't think I have. I think those aged out. We're doing a lot of Marauders. Again, we picked up a couple weeks. Here's a level 5 fort, but I don't have the rewards report from that. But the level 10 is going to be so much better rewards value-wise. Let's take a look at our troop counts. We're sitting at 1.6 million infantry, 1.8 cav, and 1.2 T5 archers. We're going to be running 5 marches, 2 cav, 2 infantry, and 1 archer. We're working on our 6th march, which is going to be a archer march. We need to craft up a gear set for that. Right now, we have the Hydra's Blast weapon, so we're going to have to fill in some other pieces here. We're going to have to go with some epic pieces as we acquire more legendary materials. So that's something we're going to work on over this KvK. You know, maybe by the time we get the 6th march unlocked, depending on how far we can get in tech, again, with, you know, some minimal spending here, since upgrading the PC here to a more capable streaming machine, we'll see where we get tech wise. So that sums up this KvK for now. We have stage 3 of KvK coming up, or pre-KvK coming up, and then we'll be getting into it. We'll see where we land. You know, look for some live streams coming up soon, and I look forward to talking to you guys. Take care.